Hey, what's up, guys? Finally, there's a good news coming up for all the Marvels fan. Finally, Disney have cracked a deal with Fox Studio to buy rights for all the characters that Marvel did not own for cinematic universe. And finally, Marvels would be able to use all the characters in their cinematic universe, which they were not able to do it before. So, I'm your host Sandosh Sadbir, and today we are going to talk about how this deal is going to change the face of MCU. So, guys, you already know there are many good comic stories involving crossover between Avengers, X Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider Man. But so far, Marvels was not able to use them in the cinematic universe because of right issue. They were able to resolve some right issues with Sony for Spider Man, and now finally they are able to crack a deal with Fox Studio. With this, now Marvels would be able to use all their characters in cinematic universe without any problem. And this deal came at the very right moment because their current strategy of cinematic universe is already in the fourth stage. They have already conducted Civil War and now they are moving towards Infinity War, which is going to be in two parts, part one and part two. So it would go around till 2020. And after 2020, they have to come up with new storylines, new strategies. And with this deal, they would be able to explore a lot. So, I know you guys also have a lot of good comic stories that you want to see in the cinematic universe. So list down below which stories, which comic stories you want to see in the cinematic universe. And today I'm going to talk about what storylines and what things I want to see in Marvel Cinematic Universe after 2020, after this Infinity War is over. So the first thing I want to see is a crossover between X-Men and Avengers. And by this, we would be able to bring X-Men in the same MCU with Avengers. And how to do that? The best thing to do that would be to bring them through Spider-Man because Spider-Man have shared many stories with all the teams, all the different teams in Marvels. So my best story that I want to use to bring X-Men in this MCU would be the story where Spider-Man converts into a complete monster spider. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a storyline where the spider DNA in Peter Parker increases day by day, and because of mutation, he slowly changes into a complete spider. And to stop that, he goes to X-Men. If you guys remember this photo, this is the from comic book where he completely changes to a monster, and then X-Men helps him to come back. They prepare syrup to come back to his normal stage. So initially he goes to Professor X asking for help and telling him that I'm changing, but Professor X is not able to help him in the beginning. So gradually he changed into a complete spider and he becomes a villain for a time. So it would be interesting to see that story because so far we have just seen Spider-Man fighting against different villains and against different superheroes. This would be a fight within himself to stop himself from harming innocent people. And by this storyline, they would be able to bring X-Men into the same MCU because Spider-Man and Avengers are already there in MCU. So this would open a door for X-Men in MCU. After this, I want Fantastic Four. So Fantastic Four, not just because of the crossovers between Fantastic Four and Avengers, but because with Fantastic Four, you also get a very good villain. And you guys know that Thanos would be defeated after the Infinity War, and after that, Avengers would need another villain because Thanos is not just a villain; he's the villain, which we have been fighting from the background, and he was a big villain, and there's only one person who can replace him after 2020, and that would be Galactus. And in order to bring Galactus, you also need to bring Fantastic Four in the MCU. And with this, I'm sure Avengers would be able to continue their fight for at least next 10 to 15 years. I'm sure Marvels would figure out how to bring Galactus into this whole MCU and extend it till probably 2030 or 2035. With this, I'm sure that they'll get a lot of good stories, and with Galactus, they can also bring Silver Surfer. So far, we have seen a little bit of Galactus and Silver Surfer in the previous franchise for Fantastic Four, in which part two we saw Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer, but we did not explore it that Marvels did not explore it that much. Especially, they did not explore Galactus at all. But Galactus is a very, very good villain if they are able to explore it properly and show it properly on cinematic universe. So I want to see Galactus as the next successor after Thanos, and then how can we forget Avengers versus X-Men? This was also a very good comic book, and I want Marvels to bring this in cinematic universe. With this, I think they would be able to take Marvel's cinematic universe uh, for at least 2030 or 2035. They'll have plenty of storylines, and I'm sure all the fans would be super excited if these things come in Marvel's universe. So let me know what are your thoughts about this, and let me know what stories you want to see after Infinity War is over. So this is from me for now. I'm your host Sandosh Sadbir. Please like, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can follow on me and check all the videos that I upload. Thank you.